Hey people of YouTube, it's Amanda. So today was a really pretty big day. Like I mentioned in my last video, I am participating, or I did participate today in the Day of Silence. And the Day of Silence is sponsored by GLSEN. It's an organization promoting and helping teens and just people in general with LGBTQ related issues. And the premise of the Day of Silence kind of goes about how, in today's society in America, a lot of teens are bullied because they can't express themselves because of their sexual orientation, whether you're bisexual, trans, gay, lesbian, whatever you fall into. There's also pan, I know, there's demisexual. Under the categories of sexual orientation, there's a lot, but the main thing is that a lot of people are afraid to speak and be who they are because of people being harassed and bullied in schools, but also in other places. And it's been an issue for a really long time, but about like 10 years ago or so, this movement was started that on a given Friday in April, people would come into schools or any places of education, and this mostly is it's a very student-driven movement, so it happens in high schools, occasionally middle schools, and colleges. And my school's GSA, we happen to participate every single year, and this is the third year I've done it. I've done it since freshman year. I absolutely love it, but this year I think it really had even more of an impact on me than it has in past years, mostly because I'm getting a lot of sunlight. I'm so sorry. But I feel like it's affected me a lot this year than in years before, mostly because in the news there's been a lot of things of young people, college people, high school students that have killed themselves over taken their lives, committed suicide, and also self-harm along with that, because they were bullied to the point of death, and because they just couldn't be who they really were. And honestly, that saddens me a lot, and I've always been really into the whole LGBTQ community. I myself am bi, actually. I will admit to that. That's just who I am. And yeah, I do have a boyfriend, but that's a whole different story. I mean, I could go in that in another video. Just because I'm bi doesn't mean I can't have a boyfriend or, have a girlfriend or whatever. Again, I go both ways, but he's totally okay with it and accepting. It's one of the first things I told him, and he was totally okay with it, which is an amazing thing. We've been together for 2 months now. Okay. Anyway, back to the Day of Silence. So yeah, I participated. A lot of people in my school, my GSA, does the Day of Silence, and people that are in GSA participate, but also we got a lot of people to participate outside of GSA this year, which we had a really big amount, and since we had such a big amount of people participating this year, we couldn't be in our general location of the room that we meet in for our meetings. We had to be in the band room because we had that many people, and we also had shirts. I'm going to see if I could pull my shirt up here. Bear with me. My camera's going to tilt right now. Here's my shirt. You can't really read it right now. I will make a better view of the shirt, and it says, I am lesbian, I am gay, I am straight, I am bisexual, I am trans, I am human. And when my school's GSA was making these t-shirts, we try to think of like what kind of message do we want to send across, and sexual orientation is only one part of you. I mean, you're made up of so many different things, and you're being judged on just one little part of you, like a fraction of who you are. I mean, you have your sexual orientation, how you are as a person, your moral character, your ethics, how you treat other people. There's so many more things that make you up. Also, your nationality, your religion, your views on certain things. you're being judged upon your sexual orientation, which that has nothing to do with no one else except yourself and probably any person you're involved with. So you're telling me that there's an issue with you being who you are because a whole group of people are annoyed with it or just don't see it the way you do? It's just... Sorry, I decided I just don't get the logic. But going along with how we made our design, it goes of how, yeah, you may be this orientation or this. In the end, you're still a human being. We're all human. We all do the same things. Just because you're gay or lesbian or trans, bi, whatever, pan, it doesn't make you different from everyone else. It's a part of you, yes, but it's not all of you. And you're still human just like every other person, even if you're straight too. I mean, being judged on one little part of you is really sad. And I actually have with me the paper that we use for the Day of Silence, and I will read it off. Please understand my reasons for not speaking today. I am participating in the Day of Silence, a national youth movement bringing attention to the silence faced by lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and their allies. Allies being people that support LGBTQ matters, and there's a lot of people that help with that. My deliberate silence echoes that silence, which is caused by anti-LGBTQ bullying, name-calling, and harassment. I believe that ending the silence is the first step towards building awareness and making a commitment to address these injustices. Think about the voices you are not hearing today. And going along with that last bit, thinking about the voices you're not hearing today, that kind of goes along with how my experience was today. And it was kind of like a mix, almost, you could say. With my experience, most of my teachers were actually pretty okay with it. They kind of had it coming, because they know I'm in GSA, that I was going to participate. And my first period class, my English teacher had the same pin I was wearing, and she was totally okay with it. She's just like, Amanda, just do the work in class. We're not going to have a lot of discussion, and we're just doing mostly work in English because I'm in honors, and, we were just doing a lot of work with this book we're reading, which is fine. Health class, not so much. We got a lot of questions about it, and mostly I was the only person in my class. Most of the time I was the only person in my class doing it. I didn't have a lot of support, not having a lot of support being that I was the only one class doing it, but most people were like, okay, cool, she's not talking, whatever. But, I got discussion going on in my health class, which was actually kind of interesting to hear people do, like, wait, you can't talk? Oh, wait, you can't sign? Can you write stuff? Can you text? And I'm like, no. I'm thinking to myself, no, I can't text. No, I can't sign. I can't have any form of communication. I didn't even text my boyfriend all day. I told him, I'm sorry, I'm doing this. He knows how I felt about it, but he was really supportive of me all the time while I was doing this. So, shout out to him if he's watching this. For the most part, my teachers were okay with it. The only thing that I had a hiccup in my day, I would have to say, is when I was in my Spanish class. And another friend of mine, who's also in GSA with me, she was also doing it, and she sat right next to me, so it worked out perfectly. Me and her were working most of the class, and just, looking at each other and laughing, and some of the things people were saying. And a lot of people asked a lot of the same questions. They're like, wait, you can't sign, you can't text. And luckily, one of my other friends in the class was being our voice for us, saying, no, we cannot do any of these things. We're doing it for a really good cause. They actually read the paper and everything, so they got a little more information of why we were doing this in the first place, because not a lot of people knew about it. And my Spanish teacher knows that we're both very active in LGBTQ matters, so she was totally okay with it. I had her last year, so she knew I was going to get me involved in this. And also, there was this one little thing, though, that this one guy, he won't be named, and it kind of annoyed me a little bit, and also my friend, that me and her, a lot of people were asking questions, and they're kind of, not to be that guy, but really ignorant. And I just held her hand, took a breath together, because we knew exactly how we were feeling, that these people just don't understand. And that's what we're trying to communicate, how people need to understand a little bit more. And the guy saw us holding hands, and he said, "Why are they holding hands? Are they lesbians?" And I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me. Have you not seen me walked around, and you saw me at prom with my boyfriend? Yeah, I'm lesbian because I have a boyfriend. That makes total complete fucking sense." No. It's little comments like that that make you realize, like, there are ignorant people out there, and you just need to get through that. So, yeah. That's pretty much that. The rest of the day was really good. Also, the whole semicolon project that I did on Tuesday went really well. And, yeah. A lot of support from my friends. And I had voices to speak for me when I couldn't talk about things. My best friend, she did that for me, and all my friends were really supportive for me at lunch, and yeah. So I'm going to get going. I'm going to wrap this video up, because it's 11 minutes, and I have stuff to do later. I'm going to go to a show with my friend. She's picking me up. We're going to go for frozen yogurt. So, yeah. Guys, I'll make a video next week. I don't know about what. We'll see what happens. Have a good day. Weekend. Yeah.